I'll be the court master for the English round today. I welcome the judges to the preliminary round English language. Along with me, I have Ashwati, who will be the court master. So with the permission of the judges, can we begin with our first team?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Could you brief them about the bell also?
Yes. So just before the beginning of the round, I would like to brief all the students that there will be a start bell, and after which you will have to begin with your speech. And after for the last 2 minutes, we'll give you a warning bell, and at the end, we will give you a final bell. So we are going to begin with the topic human identity for the records of the judges. So the first team code is 6A and 5B. I request team code 6A and 5B to kindly switch on your mics and video. For the record of judges, say is a topic opener.
Hello, good morning, ma'am. It's 6A.
Yes, 6A.
Kindly start.
Uh, hello, ma'am. Am I visible? Hello. Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
you're visible.
Yes, you are visible and you are audible. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. So, with the prior permission of chairperson, I may begin. So, the topic of today's debate that is centrally identified on human identity that posits the very fact that the identity of a human is essentially a characteristic of her choices rather than the function of an immutable attribution, in the words of Amartya Sen. The very choices that strengthens our community identity, the very choices that strengthens our social identity, and the very choices that allowed my competent opponents and myself and all of us to come together in this virtual platform to engage into debate and discussions in the wake of this COVID pandemic. Good morning to my honorable chairperson, my honorable jury person, and my competent opponents and all the supportive audience member right out there. Today, I am here to speak in affirmation of the motion. Ladies and gentlemen, before we parley with the motion, the first and foremost concern that I wish to highlight that today's debate has a complete emphasis and spectrum on the word human identity that encompasses both individual identity and social identity. But by being virtue of human identity, we can trace the fact that as a social identity, we are recognized more rather than being human to human, given the rise in crime statistics. Now, relating to this example, to support my argument that there is an increment in the crime statistics day in, day out, but simultaneously, it is very ironic and interesting to note that outrage against that crime, or against those crimes, for that matter, crimes against women or crimes against children, is also increasing. That means outrage against crime and the rising crime, they are moving hand in hand. That means that at an individual level, when we are unable to recognize human, then at a collective level through social platforms, we are going against certain crime. For example, crimes against women, we have many platforms, those who oppose crimes against women, but in the present situation, we see the crimes against women do not stop, or are not likely to stop anywhere. They're getting worse day in, day out. Ladies and gentlemen, the next focal point in today's debate is on the term only. That means we need to analyze one context in order to understand this relevance of only in today's debate. For an example, that form human to human or eye to eye contact has decreased. To support this, I would like to quote one research conducted in 2014 titled as quote unquote iPhone's side effects and the decrease in spatial awareness, which recorded that 100 users who were brought to one forum, and they were given mobile phones, and they were also given 10 minutes conversation time. But researchers observed that they were all busy in fiddling with their mobiles rather than making their conversation more empathier or more productive, ladies and gentlemen. That means that on one hand, at a very human level or at a very individual level, we are unable to recognize individual identity, but through our social platform, through our mobile phones, we are able to reach out there. That means that if we are unable to recognize a human who is sitting next to us, and we are just busy in dealing with our mobile phones, so how can we suppose that individual identity be recognized without only social platform, ladies and gentlemen? It's a long shot to go. Now, coming to the next very it is how human identity cannot be limited to one identity or at a one center of identity. For example, there are many spectrums of identity of a single human. There cannot be singular identity. For example, there is an engineer outside there who is an artist as well, but in the general society, he will not be recognized by his non-capitalist identity, that is his through his art. He'll
You have
always be
1 minute
recognized.
left.
Yeah, sure. He'll be recognized only by being an engineer. But social media platform or social platform gives him a chance to profess or to celebrate the identity of being an artist as well. That means in the absence of social platform, we were either an engineer or we were either an artist, nothing in between. Now, the very important point that brings the center of today's debate, that people who are alienated from the general society find a space on social platform. For example, in 2014 acid stop movement, it just got that kind of nurturing that it came up with Chow Foundation to provide a common forum to all the acid attack survivors who are feeling alienated from the general society. That means they cherish their change identity after acid attack through social platform, ladies and gentlemen. That means genuinely human identity is cherished in one or other way through social platforms. Human identity cannot be limited to
Your time
just
is
a
up.
general society. Thank you. I rest my case.
Thank you, Team 6A. For the records of judges, since he was the opener, we had given him only 5 minutes as of now. His 2 minutes will be at the end of the complete round.
Or can I start?
Just a minute.
Okay.
Yes, please. Yes, go ahead.
Start. Okay. Good morning, respected judges. I am 5B and I will be speaking against the motion. Today, one of the most unprecedented rise of the global feature is that the cascading revolution of internet and the emergence of social media. Suddenly, our real life worlds are replaced by the virtual world, and this virtual world has an ability to influence our real life worlds. Social media networking has altered the way we envision our identity. Every young individual today has a social media identity unique to his own persona. The concept of online friends has widened the horizon of relationships, making this world a global village. Now, however, do we really know who these people are online? Are we really aware about the identities of the friends that we make online? We follow so many social media stars, but do we really know who these people are in their real life? It is the harsh reality today that we have started equating the real life identity of a person with his social media avatar. Don't be fooled because people aren't who they post on their social media to be. This world of social media is a big facade. It has created unrealistic standards of pseudo ideal way to live our lives. We on our social media always try to portray how perfect our lives are. The perfect mansion, the perfect wardrobe, the perfect family. This phenomena is extremely addictive and can have a negative impact on our mental health. In this world of perfection, what lies behind is a series of vulnerabilities, insecurities, and a constant pressure of not showing our real selves. This can have a negative impact on the mental health as we are always in the pressure to maintain the cool and the perfect image that we have created online. Now, tens of thousands of people have become famous online, created immense careers, and have hundreds of millions of fans. But they live what we call is a perfect and a dreamy life that we all wish for. But have we ever cared to look what goes on behind the camera? Have we ever cared to look at their insecurities and their vulnerabilities? A report suggested that 3 out of every 5 social media stars suffers from anxiety and depression. But all they still crave is the perfect social media life. Sejal Kumar, an Indian social media star who has almost 2 million followers, in one of her most recent videos on YouTube, shared that how not having enough followers or not getting enough likes and comments made her anxious, gave her depression, and made her question her self-worth. But I would like to ask everybody a simple question. Does like means true appreciation? And can followers ever be our true friends? Why do we care so much about that one like, one comment from that one anonymous person sitting somewhere in the world? Trust me when I say your worth is not measured by the likes, comments, and followers you have, but your worth is measured by your ability to love, care, and form real life relationships. So, Mostly Sane, and another Indian YouTuber who has more than 6 million subscribers, in one of her videos has explicitly confessed that what they show on their social media is only the perfect and the glamorous part of their life. What they fail to show is their heartbreaks, their failures, and their insecurities, because they fear judgment. They fear that in this perfect world, in this cool world of social media, will the audience accept them in their real selves? Now, talking about identity and recognition, we usually have a social media name. For example, Indian social media stars has name like Mostly Sane, Beer Biceps, BBQ Wines, etc. But have we ever cared to find out what their real names are? Now, I ask you all a question: what kind of identity it is, where not our near name, but only our social media name is shining? And if not the social media name, people will even fail to recognize us. Is such an identity, such a recognition worth it? Another major problem of social media is fake accounts. A report from refinery.com suggested that there are over 7.5 million fake accounts today online. Now, how can we recognize people through this fake account? The major problem of this fake accounts is trolling and bullying. These people, under anonymous name, under anonymous accounts, give unsolicited opinions and judge the life of others. They simply bully and threaten other people. These anonymous accounts now has become a justice system in itself. They will hold a person guilty, contempt him. But friends, trust me when I say, Facebook is not police station, Twitter is not the courtroom, and Instagram can never give justice. Today, uh, all that people crave for is today all that people crave for is only a perfect social media life. People try too hard on social media but never try enough in their real life. A report from the University of Pennsylvania suggested that higher the uses of social media,
You have
higher,
2 minutes
yeah,
left.
higher the uses of social media, higher is the chances of negative impact on the mental health. When we see our friends' perfect airbrushed photos and photoshopped videos, we get a feeling of dissatisfaction, envy, jealousy, which often leads to mental health problems. Today, people are ready to give up their real life identity to create a social media identity. All that matters today is only the social media image, the perfect and the cool image. Today, emojis have taken place of emotions, appreciation, likes have taken place of appreciation, and friends are replaced by followers. But for a real identity, for real recognition, what is needed is real engagement with genuine emotions. But how can a virtual world give us real emotions and genuine engagement? Think about it, my dear friend. So, my dear friends, instead of creating a social media identity, I urge everybody here to try hard in their real life as they try hard on their social media and create a real life image. Because choose for friends over followers, appreciation over likes, and most importantly, choose peace over perfection. Because by its very origin, what is called the virtual world is a fake world. And even if you create an identity there, even if you get recognized there, it will always remain on a real platform and never become a real one. Thank you.
Thank you, Code 5B. Um, I just have a request for the judges to kindly score both the participants and share their score sheet on the email ID.
Okay, children, we'll do it in 5 minutes.
Simran,
Yes,
what I
ma'am.
feel is I have
Yes, ma'am.
got some
I
other papers,
have a
and
doubt.
I'm noting all those things, can we do it at the end of the session so that there won't be any